It's Ronnie. It's Sunday, I think about 6 o'clock. Here's kind of a mock-up of what that longtail is going to look like. Well, it ain't mocked up. That's the framework starting. And then just checking the specifications. It's all going along fine until, guess what? Not my fault. I got about 5 hours of work to do now because I talked so much about specifications have to be right, like these bearings, this pipe, and the holes right here. Well, if you can see this side probably. Those holes are within 5/1000ths of an inch. That pipe is 1 5/8 outside diameter, right there. If you can see, the sun's glaring on my phone, I can't tell. Those specs are Nat's booty, the height-wise. Supposed to be by Predator specifications on their engine in the book with their prints and all their stuff for height and width and everything. Guess what? My stuff is within 5/1000ths height this way, center this way, except the frame is wider because their specifications stated that this shaft is not dead center between two plates. Oh, that's my cupboard. Between this framework, I had to make it wider because from where the bolt holes are, from side to side, like there and here, the shaft is off center. This way, 0.270 inches, 270,000ths of an inch, which means it's off center a little over 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so I got that right. I got that, their specs are right there. Then their specs also stated from the bottom when it's sitting on this framework, okay? Sitting down here on that framework, right here, from this height up to the exact dead center of this shaft where I'm pointing my finger, if you can see it, they said their specs from the bottom right down here up to this center point of that shaft right here is exactly 5.250 inches, 250 thou, which 5 1/4 inches, right? So I made my plates, this is exactly 1 1/2 inch tall angle, exactly. So that would mean my hole should be 5 1/4 plus 1 1/2, which is 6 3/4 inches, dead center of my shaft. I don't need to get my tape measure out and show you. I am within 3 or 5/1000ths on the height, which is 6 3/4 inches within 5/1000 of an inch. Guess what? Predator specs are wrong, or their design change. They didn't put it in their specifications. If you look real close, right where I take my finger here, where am I? See how that shaft isn't lining up? It's the bottom, and there's more gap up here at the top. Okay? Yeah, the shaft is not 5 1/4 inches from the where it sits up. It's 5 3/8. So you know what that means? That's 0.125, 125,000ths off on their specifications, which is 1/8 of an inch, which means this is too tall. This shaft here is too tall by 1/8 of an inch. It's off center 1/8 of an inch now instead of being exact where it has to be. So now my only choice is grind 1/8 of an inch off the bottom of the frame of the motor, which I probably ain't gonna do, but that'd be really quick. But then if I ever change a motor and the specs are the same, I'd have to grind the other one. So now, because of their fiasco, I have to take these holes here and here, both of them. I have to take the tube out, which it will come out. It's not welded in. I have to take and elongate the top of the hole from dead center up around there. I don't know if you can see where my finger's at. Where am I here? I'm lost. Oh, here we are. You're glaring my phone. From here, I have to elongate from halfway. I have to elongate this hole up 1/8 of an inch, 125 thou, and then take my welder and fill in the bottom a little bit to make up the 125 thou thickness on the bottom. Where am I? Right here. Yeah, so I have to take and cut that out, hand die grind all that out, 1/8 of an inch total to the top, and then fill in 1/8 of an inch at the bottom. Not just on one, on both of them. On this one also, right here. I'll have to do the same to this. And I'm still going to try to keep my 5/1000 spec, but I'm going to have to take 1/8 of an inch from here and around higher, and then fill in with the welder 1/8 of an inch in the bottom, and then grind it out. I still have my hole saw that was busted to pieces, but I can use that to check my size of the hole when I'm done again. Yeah, thanks a lot, Predator Harbor Freight. Specifications are bullshit. Like I said, I don't need algebra. All I need is true numbers. Guess what? They gave me wrong numbers. 1/8 of an inch is a long ways off. 125 thousandths when you're working with 3 to 5 thousandths, and they're off 125 thousandths. So yeah, but that's what it's going to look like. The motor will be moved ahead farther. This is half of the coupler that'll go on there, and this is a Lovejoy, and it won't take 1/8 of an inch off. I'd never build an 1/8 of an inch off center. I could try to cheat and tilt, just do one hole and angle it. No, it's going to be perfect. I got to go and grind 1/8 of an inch out of the top of here and that one here. Fill in the bottom 1/8 of an inch with the welder. Put a little weld in there and fill it in so it's all centered. Then I can really build it up when I weld around it, but I will build the whole bottom in and everything in here so it's correct. I'm just going to have to basically by hand move the hole up 1/8 of an inch, 125 thousandths, because Predator Harbor Freight specifications are wrong. And then this, like I said, the battery will be sitting up there. The motor will sit 1/2 an inch from the battery. And then all this in between here to where my hand is from that plate, the shaft will stick out about this far. And there'll be a coupler on the shaft going this way. And then there'll be the other half of the coupler going this way. So that's why I just wanted it lined up close so I could see, make sure the shaft was lined up before I got it welded in enough. It's tack welded, but it's stuck. I'm not going to cut the plates and try to lift them 1/8 of an inch. I'm just going to take the time and elongate the hole and fill it in on the bottom. But yeah, there you go. Otherwise, I said you get true numbers, but only, I said, numbers never lie. Only liars cook their frickin' numbers. That's a bunch of lying numbers right there, and that's what happens. 1/8 of an inch, 125 thousandths when I want it within 3 to 5 thousandths, and my stuff is within 3 to 5 thousandths. So only 122 thousandths off. There's their tolerances apparently, yeah. Okay, man, I ain't gonna let it get me down. It's getting hot. I'm gonna try to start reaming them out. My welder, one plug-in took a dive. I gotta try to get parts ordered for that tonight yet online. So I'm using a little higher heat than I wanted to. But apparently somebody else that used the welder smashed the outlet where the low voltage plug goes and just left it. God, it's old, and I've never really used low voltage until today. Well, the high voltage, it was stuck in it, and I couldn't get it out. I figured out why it was broken inside. So another story, more setbacks. I'll have it. I refuse to lose, man. Everything else is coming out perfectamundo. I said the shaft and the bearings, I checked the whole tube. They slide all the way through with that 3 thou clearance that I wanted. There's no dents or dings in the tube anywhere. I'm very happy about that. I said I got my plates up. They are square and perfect, direct in line. That's all I got to do. I got to ream them holes out and elongate the holes 1/8 of an inch and fill in so it's direct height with the shaft. So I'm within my 3 to 5 thou. I won't put anything together half-assed, okay? It's going to be freaking right. I got specs I designed, and I'm going to stick to them no matter what I got to do or how long it takes me to fix other people's freaking lying numbers and their lying specs, okay? All right, man. Yeah, it's kind of hot out here in the sun yet. Peace. Love, half a heart. Have a heart. Don't let stuff get you down. Make it, dream it, make it happen, man. I said, but I don't do half-ass shit. It's going to be right. End of story. If it takes me an extra freaking week or 2 weeks to get everything correct when I keep running into stuff like this and like that other bolt I showed you, you want to see something neat? I'll show you real fast. This is the bolt I had to grind down because I explained in another video to fit in the transom how it was thick where it got punched on the head and it was mushed. This is a grade 8 bolt, but made in Taiwan. That cost me $28 instead of, and it's 2 inches longer. This one cost me 28 bucks instead of like 8. But watch this, right out of the factory. Want to see something cool? Look at that. See that? Ain't that neat? That's what the other one was supposed to do. But I had to grind it off because that specifications weren't met. Just like the specs they had down for this engine, them specs for the height of that shaft are a lie. Bunny ears to Harbor Freight. Well, nobody even probably notices. They don't give a hoot. They're all idiots. They don't care. You know, most people would say, screw it, just put it together like that, put a U-joint or some bullshit in it. No, I'm doing it the correct way with that expensive Lovejoy coupling. Yeah, it goes like that, and this goes, you'll see it. Those go in there with that urethane, and it slides together, but I only got one hand, and then that's the coupler, so it takes out any jolt and banging, and yeah, high speed. It'll take, it's supposed to handle 5,000 rip'em. Otherwise, I could go to a different style. This is special urethane. That'll take all kinds of torque in the jar and stuff, and it's pretty weatherproof. No rusty and stuff. But yeah, there you go. Just don't let stuff get you down. I refuse to lose. Thanks for watching. I love you all. It'll be done, and it's going to be done correct. Everything else, all my bearings and my parts so far, everything else is working out fine, except, I said, building it and checking every step because I went by their specs. Not correct. Okay, what do? It's keep on plugging away and get it right. And I use real numbers, so there you go. Love y'all. Thanks. Y'all take care. I will be back. Whew, it's going to be awesome when it's done. Ciao. Have a good one. Love you.